All right, so I'm coming off a week of phenomenal progress on Indie Buckets. I got a lot more done last week than I thought I was going to, and I really want to take that momentum and carry that to the finish line with Indie Buckets. And so what that means is that I want to take this week, 5 days, and I want to completely wrap up the MVP, feature set, launch features, whatever you want to call it. I want to get Indie Buckets in a place where I can go ahead and launch it to everybody who's signed up to be notified when it does launch. I'm going to be tracking my progress each day of the week to hopefully end with launching on Friday. One of the things that I think really helped me stay focused last week, which is something that I've been struggling with a little bit, is rather than on my to-do list saying, Indie Buckets, spend some time on Indie Buckets, I actually detailed out the specific sets of features or functionality that I wanted to get through that day. Sometimes it was one thing, but sometimes it was multiple things like display charts and make sure that the chart data is accurate. So with today being Monday and the first day, my actual primary focus of work for Indie Buckets is going to be centered around planning. Mondays for me when it comes to agency work typically are a lot of phone calls, and this Monday is pretty much the same. I have a number of phone calls, a few things that I need to make sure my team is working on. So I'm going to focus my time when it comes to Indie Buckets on planning out all the things that I need to get done this week and then kind of assigning them a day. Now I'm going to be flexible and not say like, oh, because I put this on Tuesday, it has to be done Tuesday. I'll be able to gauge throughout the week to see my progress and see, if I need to give something an extra day or if it, maybe it can get done earlier. So today is Monday, the first day of the week, and I'm going to get to planning. Good morning, it's Tuesday, day 2, and today's focus is going to be on splits. So I'm really excited to actually jump into this. It's going to be the most complicated part of the app. I got a little head start yesterday, but I'm going to go at it first thing this morning. I have a couple emails and project management things that I need to get done, but I'm going to try to get a couple solid hours when I'm on my brain and I'm feeling fresh to get into splits. So let's see how today goes. All right, so I'm wrapping up day 2, Tuesday, and the goal today was to get split transactions far along. So let's take a look at the UI that we have implemented for split transactions. So I can always go up to new, and then transactions here we have type, expense or income. We'll go ahead and fill this out here. We'll say this is $500. Date is today, and we will say this was a hosting renewal. So at a transaction level, I can say this transaction is specifically associated with a particular app. So I can go and select from any of my apps, but now I can say split. And so every time I add a split, I'm selecting an app that is associated with it here. So we'll say watch it, and I can give the amount specific to this app. So let's say out of this $500, watch it got 200. I can add another split, and I can say this is for Train Factor, and Train Factor took 100 of that. I'll add another split and say Hector, and Hector took the remaining 200. Of course, I can go ahead and remove a split as well here, but let's put that back. And we'll say Hector 200. All right, great. So now when I create this transaction, it was successfully created here. And I can go into view all my transactions for the current month here. And I see my hosting renewal that I just added is right here. So it shows me that this is a split transaction. The total amount was 500, but you can see it's split amongst these different apps and it's broken down here. Watch it got 200, Train Factor 100, Hector got 200 there. So if I go back and I go into a particular app here, like Watch It, I can see that here is my hosting renewal and it's all right here. So the great thing about this is that when we're looking at an app view, we're only taking into account the portion of a transaction that is split for that particular app. So for instance, today's April 22nd, I've been putting some test data in here. When we just take a look at what Watchit is responsible for here, because we have 4 transactions for today, all of which are split. If we see Watchit has 500 here, $5 here, and 200 here, that totals $705 in expenses for the day, even though these transactions are more than that total. And when it comes to income, we have Watchit at $250. So because we are viewing Watchit, if we look at today's graph, it's showing properly that expenses, there's only $705 in expenses and $250 in income, which is fantastic. And of course, this profitability number reflects just those numbers as well. So I'm really, really happy with where I made progress today. I got the bulk of the hard stuff done on split transactions. Tomorrow I'm going to implement editing and duplicating split transactions and then taking care of some validation here to make sure that all the numbers add up and users can't split transactions for more than the actual transaction amount is in place for. In wrapping up day 2, I would say that I'm very much on track to still have things ready to launch at the end of this week. Hoping that tomorrow is really similar to today, because really tomorrow is going to be the last kind of heavy lift when it comes to more of the strong functionality that needs to be added, and everything else is going to be a little more polished, a little more marketing side of things. So feeling really good, and hopefully I can keep this momentum going. Good morning, it's day 3. So we're gonna be about halfway through the week now, and based on the work I did yesterday on splits, I'm feeling like I can wrap things up this week, and that feels great. So splits is like the core feature or the secret sauce for Indie Buckets, and that was the thing that I waited until the end to implement here, and I made a lot of really good progress yesterday on it. So I'm feeling really good about that. Today I'm going to be wrapping up splits, or at least that's the goal. So specifically what I need to do is 2 kind of major parts. I don't want to jinx myself or anything, but if I can get through those 2 things today, that means splits are gonna be done. That means core functionality of the application is done, at least the initial version. And what is left to get people in the door signing up for this is I need to implement my sign up flow, and I need to update the landing page. And I would have 2 days to do that, and that should be plenty. I mentioned it before, but Friday is my birthday, so this would be a great birthday present to myself to be able to get this app wrapped up, out the door, and in a place where I can hopefully market it. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. Again, I think today is the big crux of the week in terms of is it going to be successful or not when wrapping up the development of Indie Buckets. So I'm going to drink my coffee and I'm going to get into splits. So I'm at the halfway point of day 3 and working on wrapping up validation for split transactions. And I've already decided to edit myself a little bit. There's a lot of different validation things I could do to kind of dummy proof creating split transactions and making it really easy for the user to not be able to make mistakes. I've already edited and decided to not implement some of those ideas because I don't think they're needed at the beginning. So this is one thing that you hear successful indie hackers, solopreneurs, whatever you want to call them, preach all the time is, don't spend too much time on, just don't spend too much time developing. Like, just get it out there, make sure it's working. Obviously, don't produce something that's crap, but don't overthink it and get it out there in the hands of users. So I've attempted to do stuff like that in the past and unsuccessfully, and I don't have a product out there that is getting lots of users and making lots of money. So I guess I need to take that advice at face value and I think I'm gonna stop with where I'm at with validation. And where I'm at with validation on split transactions is really just ensuring that the transaction amount that you enter in, if you have splits, that those splits, the sum of those splits add up to match the amount transaction. So for instance, if you have a transaction of $2,000 and you have two splits, the total of both of those splits must equal 2,000 in order for you to actually create that transaction. So I think I'm gonna stop there. I'm not gonna overthink it. I'm gonna get it out there, and those niceties can come quickly after. And also too, hopefully users will sign up, pay for this and use it and tell me what they want and what's not working, and I can make sure I'm spending my time correctly. Okay, I wrapped up day 3. I got what I needed to get done. Validations are in place. Being able to edit and duplicate transactions that have splits is all done and in place, which means that transactions in general are feature complete. They are launch ready. Big milestone. Really excited about it. So these next 2 days, I have a lot of, I won't say little things to do, but what should be less complicated things to do. So I'm hoping to make a lot of progress, again, hitting or aiming for that Friday launch on my birthday. So wrapping up day 3, carrying this momentum hopefully into day 4 and 5. All right, it is Thursday, day 4, and today's focus is the sign-up flow. If I get through the sign-up flow, that's also going to include some onboarding stuff and then a little bit of polish if I get through that. If I can get through these things, then tomorrow is update landing page and launch. All right, transparency, it's been about 2 hours since I filmed the good morning, it's day 4, and I've done nothing. I've gotten nothing done. This happens to me a lot when I kind of like push, and then I get past what I deem as the hardest part of something. And then it's kind of like, I relax a little bit, and it's like, oh, well, the rest of this stuff is easy. So there's a little less push behind getting stuff done. So I guess I'm calling myself out and just sharing that, yeah, it's been 2 hours and I've essentially wasted 2 hours. I've done one thing, and that one thing is to determine in the sign-up flow, rather than having somebody give me details on the site for Indie Buckets and then sending them to Stripe, when they click, sign up or whatever that call to action is, I'm just gonna send them to Stripe first, let them pay, and then send them back and start collecting data. So that way I know, hey, I don't end up creating these accounts and then they abandon when it comes to paying. So today was rough. It didn't go well. It didn't go how I wanted it to. It didn't go how I thought it would go. As you already saw, I puttered around this morning. I didn't really get a good start to the day in terms of sitting down and getting things done. And then when I finally got into it, I ran into a couple, what should have been like basic things to kind of get implemented, really what I thought was maybe like an hour's worth of work, but I hit 2 separate roadblocks and I ended up spending hours. I did get to a point in terms of sign up. So sign up was the big thing to get done today. And in terms of that working, it works. Like it's all there, it's in place. You can pay money, which is obviously the most important thing. And then there's the like one little onboarding step. So that is working, and I got a couple edge cases taken care of as well, but there's definitely a level of polish that it needs. I really need to make sure that this part of the process sings, because it is the first interaction that a user is going to have with Indie Buckets. So tomorrow, well, wrapping up day 4. Day 4 is done. It's in the books. I'm not going to work anymore. I already worked a lot today. Day 5 is the last day. That was the goal that I set for myself, was to get this thing done, wrapped up, and launched. And while it's still possible that I could just hit a flow state in the morning and just really get a lot done, it's very unlikely. And I'm not gonna launch this if it's not ready. It's the end of the week, it's day 5, it's my birthday, and today was the whole idea was that today I wrap up Indie Buckets and I launch it, to hit that goal of launching at the end of the week or by the end of the week. Yesterday was frustrating. I ended the day not feeling optimistic at all. And while between the last update I gave and this update now, I've done zero work, I actually am feeling optimistic now. I was thinking about it, and functionality-wise, everything's in place. Sign up, creating, managing apps, transactions, little profile updates that you can make. All that's there and it's in place. The only features that I want to add are really just a support form, feedback form. So hopefully I can hear from users if they need help or if they have feature requests. But right now they can sign up and they can start using the app. So I'm going to spend the majority of this morning focused on running through testing and making sure that when the app has no data, that those empty states don't look like trash, pretty much. If I do those two things, then there's no reason why I shouldn't hit the launch button today and say it's launched. I also want to make updates to the landing page and all those things, but that can come after launch. So I'm going to keep that in mind as I go through today, and it's very possible that by the end of today, my last update is I have officially launched. And that's what I'm going for. So I'm gonna get to it. I'm frustrated and disappointed. I got everything done. I was ready to go to production, and of course that in and of itself is a step. Going to production in this case meant I needed to do all my type checks because the front end of IndieBuckets is written using TypeScript and Next.js. The back end is in Rails, so I have to get that deployed, make sure email and stuff is working, and I know all that stuff takes time. Where I got stuck and ultimately where I'm calling it quits and I'm not going to get this app launched today is there's a part of the process during sign up where you check out Stripe. Stripe sends you back to IndieBuckets, and when you come back, I get your Stripe session and I create your user account, do a couple things before I get you into the dashboard. Everything was working fine beforehand. I had a couple changes I needed to make in order to satisfy type requirements at this stage. And as I was testing, just a final test before I pushed to production, I ended up in this infinite loop. So you successfully check out, you come back to IndieBuckets, and then you're just in this endless loop here. So I spent about an hour trying to troubleshoot it. It's just a little after 4 p.m. and I've been working on this all day. I still need to get a workout in, get dinner in, and have time to actually enjoy my day. So I'm going to admit defeat, which is tough because yesterday was tough, but then I woke up optimistic and I got everything done. And well, I mean, not everything, but these final checks, I just got hung up. So my hope is that I can sleep on it. My brain will do that thing it does at sometimes where it will find a solution or something to check while I'm sleeping. So I could launch tomorrow. It's Saturday. Doesn't really make a difference, I guess, in the end. It's not like I have thousands of people who are clamoring to get their hands on this. But yeah, it definitely takes the wind out of the sails for today. That's it. All right, good morning. Day 6 now instead of day 5 since we didn't launch. Still feeling pretty bummed about yesterday, and I think what really upsets me is that the thing that caused me not to launch it's the ramifications of choosing and building with newer frameworks. So I'm new to Next.js. I programmatically understand what's going on, but just some of the specific quirks maybe to the framework itself, that's what tripped me up. And so that's a bummer. I'm gonna get it figured out today. So the plan today is essentially kind of 3 steps. I'm going to fix the issue, number 1. Number 2, I'm going to do another thorough round of testing, make sure I don't have any other weird issues. And then step 3 is we're going to production and we're launching. So I know that process is gonna take some time to get the back end set up, the front end set up, confirm that everything is working, and I'll go through myself and do a sign up and make sure that we're good to go. So I'm hoping that that's just the morning and I can launch and I can kind of say, okay, hey, I may not have hit my goal that I set for myself by the end of the week, but it's launched, it's done, and I would be pretty stoked on that. So yeah, I'm gonna get to it. Okay, I think it's time. I have the backend deployed. I have my Strike products and everything set up. I've moved over all my environment variables to Vercel. So literally the last thing to do to launch Indie Buckets is to push my changes and let it deploy on Vercel. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, we're building. All right, our build was successful. It's launched, it's live. Very exciting, very happy to have this done, especially in the early part of the day. Even though, man, I really wanted this to be yesterday. I'm really happy, really excited to have this launched. I'm gonna go sign up for this product myself as kind of a final production test. And yeah, I think then we're gonna send out emails to the people that signed up and see if there's any response from that. So yeah, super stoked on this.